What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So recently, Team USA beat Serbia. I believe it was 110 to 84. And LeBron James, and especially Kevin Durant, were key to those victories. Kevin Durant scored 23 points, I believe, on I think it was a perfect 8 of 8 from the floor, including 5 of 5 from 3-point range. And you can make an argument that Kevin Durant just may be statistically the greatest American Olympian of all time. You can make that argument. Let me check something out here. I would say him and Carmelo Anthony. Even though the media loves to focus on you know who, even with Team USA, much of the lamestream La Media, aka the La Mafia, they're making it about one guy, man. It's just it's so insufferable, man. I can't even watch the games really. But yeah, KD, uh, Olympics most valuable player 2020, FIBA World Cup most valuable player. Now that's international play, the Olympics 2010. Three-time USA basketball male athlete of the year 2010, 2016, 2021. Won Olympic gold in the Olympics in London, Olympic gold in 2016 Rio de Janeiro, Olympic gold in Tokyo, World Championship, World Cup 2010 Turkey. If they win the Olympic gold again, it'll be 4 gold medals. I know everybody's focusing on LeBron, but unlike LeBron, KD's never lost an Olympic competition. So just wanted to put that out there. But anyway, and Bean's up there too, Kobe Bean. But whenever one guy gets any shine, I just noticed that the media loves to somehow, in their infantile mentality, just take shots at him. It's just so infantile, man. So, for whatever reason, they brought up KD's stint with the Warriors on Undisputed. That show that's teetering on, what I'm saying, life support. Only getting 40, 50,000 views an episode now. But anyway, they were talking about his time with the Warriors. And yeah, I have admitted and stated that I think that was a weak move on KD's part. That's just my opinion. It's not an opinion that's out of the mainstream. It was a cheat code type move. It was. But Keyshawn Johnson, former NFL player, now a longtime sports analyst, formerly affiliated with BSPN. Now he's with Fake Sports as an analyst on Undisputed Failure. He was talking about basically, you could switch Paul Pierce, and he would have done the same shit. That's what he said. He said you switch Paul Pierce with KD, and he'd have been just as successful with the Warriors. This is what he said. I don't like playing audio too much, but well, you can't hear it because I tried to do it on my computer before. But basically, he said, if I put Paul Pierce on the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson, Draymond, Steph Curry, you don't think he could do the same shit? And he said, the same stuff. And then Skip said, well, yeah, I can see an argument for that. Yeah. Because I forgot. I tried the other day with talking about the project stuff. My microphone doesn't pick up my computer, so I can't play audio that way. But anyway, this is the thing about that. I think Keyshawn's right in some aspects, but in other ways, it's misleading. See, this is the thing. Technically, Keyshawn's right because essentially, what the Warriors did, in my opinion, was just upgrade from Harrison Barnes. Remember, Game 7, Harrison Barnes was bricking, bricking, bricking. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the last 3 games of that series, he forgot to shoot a jump shot. So essentially, what the Warriors did was upgrade from Harrison Barnes to Kevin Durant. That's what they pretty much did. So essentially, yeah, Paul Pierce would be a major upgrade from Harrison Barnes. So yeah, it still would have been a cheat code. And you know, I don't know if Paul Pierce would have won 2 Finals MVPs, maybe one, but he probably would be a 3-time champion. Now, if you're talking about prime Paul Pierce, not that Paul Pierce, because at that stage Paul Pierce was becoming a role player. But if you're talking about prime Paul Pierce, 98 to 2012 or 11, yeah, they probably would have won 2 championships in a row too. But that's not saying much because the team was so overstacked and overmatched that you could have added any All-Star who was a bump above Harrison Barnes, and they would have been very successful. Hell, they almost won the championship. They remember the team won 73 games. So while their bench wasn't as strong, the next couple of years, the starting lineup was so, you know what I'm saying? Their starting lineup was so overpowering that it canceled out for the most part their bench. Now with Paul Pierce, it wouldn't have been quite as slanted, but it still would have been a huge advantage. So yeah, I can see the argument, but that still don't mean that Kevin Durant and Paul Pierce belong in the same sentence. They don't. I'm sorry. Paul Pierce averaged about 19.7 points per game in their careers. KD's over 27 points per game. KD is the far more efficient scorer. Scoring with KD comes almost effortless. You really can't defend KD. You have to hope he's missing. Paul Pierce had to work a little harder for his shot. Now, Paul Pierce had size for that position. He was 6'7", 235, 240. He had good size, but we're talking about a dude in Kevin Durant who says he's 6'9". He's really about 6'11" minimum. I've seen the guy walking next to Kevin Garnett, and he's almost the same damn height. There's no way in hell he's only 6'9". At the very least, Kevin Durant's 6'10 and a half. He's clearly taller than LeBron James. So you got a guy who his shoes is probably approaching 7 feet tall, who can shoot like him. I mean, Kevin Durant gets forgotten in the all-time greatest shooters list. I mean, the guy, not only can he shoot from deep at a 38 to 40% clip, not only can he shoot the line from an 88 to 92% clip, but he's an efficient scorer. The guy, I think now has finally reached over 50% for his career. He's had 10 years in a row he shot over 50% from the floor, something like that, or 11 seasons in a row. Just a remarkable string. They put out a false stat the other day that LeBron's the only guy in history to shoot over 75% from at the rim and 40% from 3 in a season. That's bullshit because KD's done it 4 different times. Kawhi Leonard just did it last season. So we're talking about one of the greatest pure shooters of all time in a 7-foot frame. Plus, that's another advantage. I didn't really go into it more as far as basketball related. To have a guy 6'11" on the defensive end, yeah, KD's not noted for his defense, but you know what I'm saying? Just to be a guy, that's just an incredible mismatch to have. A guy that size on the court. So while Paul Pierce would still be an upgrade, he's not Kevin Durant. He's just not that dominant as a level as a player. And KD took offense to what Keyshawn Johnson said. And he said, basically, let me see, I just had it. KD said in response to Keyshawn Johnson's attempting to downplay his stint with the Warriors, said, if the Jets would have took Jonathan Ogden, Marvin Harrison, Ray Lewis, or Eddie Jones, #1, they would have been better off. I hate hypotheticals. So what he's alluding to is in 1996, the Jets, who was the team that drafted Keyshawn, bypassed multiple future Hall of Famers, including Marvin Harrison, Ray Lewis, Jonathan Ogden, Brian Dawkins, Terrell Owens, and Zach Thomas. So I'm pretty sure the Jets could do that one over. They would have done it. So that's basically what he's saying. Like I said, all of those would have been upgrades. Keyshawn was an upgrade and an asset, but man, he's not Marvin Harrison. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, Paul Pierce, and it's even more so with this because the Jets weren't like the 93 Cowboys. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Yeah, Keyshawn has a point, but Paul Pierce, while great and a Hall of Famer, he's not Kevin Durant. And by the way, for the media out there, couldn't you also say, well, if you put Kawhi Leonard, prime Kawhi Leonard, 2017 Kawhi Leonard, before the injuries, if you put him on the same team with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, maybe he could have done the same thing and wouldn't have been as fucking selfish about it. You see what I'm saying? You could do that with all that. See, they never want to do that with him. They never want to do that with him. Never. I wonder if you put 1992 Michael Jordan on the same team with a Dwayne Wade, a Chris Bosh, and Scottie Pippen, how many championships could they have won? And they got to stay together somehow for a 6 years or 4 year span. Let's say a 4 year span. Matter of fact, let's be fair. Take Pippen out of it. Let's just have Dwayne Wade, Michael Jordan, and Chris Bosh. And let's say Bosh plays power forward, Jordan's at small forward, Wade's at shooting guard. And let's just say they got some, point guard that's like I don't know. Let's say the point guard is some nondescript dude like Goran Dragic or something. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it.